Wanna come up? Come on up, because you're cute. There we go. Do not give me your bum. That's it. Oh, thank you. What is this? Is this tomato sauce from the kids? Of course it is. So this is Bailey, my golden retriever. Very cute. I don't know why you're looking so sad. Is it because I'm in your space? Cheeky. So we're downstairs today because I have just done a whole load of housework, and I can't bother to go upstairs and do the same. Which needs to be done before I do any filming. So today I thought I would, let me see if I can tilt you down a bit so you can see more of Bailey. That you can't see me. Not going to get him in, sorry. He's there, you can see the top of him. So let's talk about working from home, especially as an author. People have always joked that I should do like a podcast called like Rants with Rhian, because I like to have a rant. So today's video is in honour of those ideas, and we're going to have a rant about working from home, especially as an author. But if you do work from home, you might find some similarities in what I'm about to say. So working from home is great. I'm sure we all know there's like loads of pros to working from home. So I'm not really going to go into those sort of things. So, but I work from home as an author, which means that I'm like sort of in control of my entire career. I haven't got a boss telling me what to do, which is great because it means that I can like set my own timetable. I know what I can set, what I'm going to do and when. If I'm not feeling it one day, I can do it another day and all of that. There is loads of benefits, absolutely. But recently I've been having a bit of beef because there's just some things that have come up that I feel like I need to rant about. I'll start with the first one. The biggest one is that when my children are ill or sick or whatever, I'm the one that ends up taking days off work to look after them. Which I get it, because my husband is the main breadwinner, and not only that, but he has to go out to work and there's other people relying on him to do his job. Whereas for me, it's like I'm the boss of me. So I've not got other people waiting on me. Now, I do some client work, so there is that to take into account. But for the most part, I work for myself. So I'm the one that, like, my husband is a teacher, so he has to go to school. He's got classes waiting for him. He's got other teachers that would have to take up his burden if he wasn't there, and so on and so forth. So it does make sense. However, because I'm the one at home, I'm the one that ends up looking after children if they're ill or can't go to nursery for whatever reason. And it irks me a little bit because I want to work. And I'm sure you've heard me talk about before, but if you're not, if you're new here, I do have some illness issues, that like some health issues that prevent me from working at 100% all the time. So that, like, having the children off nursery can actually like set me back with my health, which sets me even further back from work, not just losing that day of work. Like, oh man, it sucks, right? I'm really thirsty today. Probably because I just sweated my ass off doing housework. So the second thing I want to talk about is actually something that I have struggled to deal with, because as I would say this is, I think, specifically more for authors. I feel like people don't take what I do seriously and don't take my work seriously. And I think that is a danger when you're an author, and because it's not as if you work from home, like, and you're like part of an office. So like you have set hours and set jobs sort of thing. You know, you work from home as like a creative, and I really don't think people see careers in this creative aspect as like proper jobs. Not sure if I'm saying it properly, and I really don't want to like annoy anybody, but that's just how I feel. it's just frustrating. Like, I work really hard, and obviously, yeah, part of my job is social media. I'm not on social media for myself. I'm on social media as an author, and what I do, like, I don't get paid each day. I get paid when the work is finished and after that. It's just, it can get really frustrating sometimes when, like, outwardly people could be supportive, but like inwardly in their actions don't necessarily show that they believe what you're doing is like a job and is important. And that can get frustrating sometimes. A lot of sometimes. And linking to both those 2 points, I cannot work from home with children. Now, I know a lot of people found this, especially when we had the lockdowns and people had to still work from home, but with children that weren't at school or at nursery. I think especially at nursery age, because they're not old enough to entertain themselves and know what to do, sort of thing. Especially my 2-year-old, I couldn't leave her on her own, and I can't work with her either. If I brought my laptop down here, she just comes along and wants to bang the living daylights out of it. And I get her, because my laptop has light up keys and they're awesome. So I get the temptation. But you just cannot work from home with like toddlers and young children. You just cannot. And I think people think that you can, which you just can't. I do think that has gotten a bit better during COVID, and now I think that's waning a little bit. People just assume, oh, but you're home, so therefore you can look after them. Well, no, actually, because I'm trying to actually work. You know, you wouldn't take your kids, you wouldn't take your toddler to an office or wherever you worked and then be like, oh, hey, they're just going to hang out here today. Which leads me to my next point. By the way, there's no structure to this video. It's just me ranting and rambling about working from home. But anyway, so that leads me on to my next point, which is just because I'm working from home doesn't mean... You do realise that you're quite a big dog, right? Okay. Just because I'm at home doesn't mean that I'm able to do housework, cooking, food prep, all of that. So what I try and do is I try and do my shopping on the weekend or on a day where I have my children, because the other days I'm meant to be working. But for some reason, and I know my best friend, she worked from home, had some days at home once, working from her job. She was in finance, and her husband would come home and then be like, oh, why haven't you done this bit of housework or that bit of housework? And she's like, well, because I'm currently sat on my laptop working. If you were out at work, if you went out of the house, you wouldn't still be expected to clean the inside of your house or do food or whatever. That would be done outside of your working hours, wouldn't it? So why when you're working from home are you suddenly expected to do it within your working hours? Just no, okay? No. Hi. I can't tickle your chest when you're sitting up like this, can I? This boy loves a chest tickle. But, he's on me. You'd need to be upside down for that. Oh, you're going to try, are you? More rants with Rhian. Let's move on. So I think they're the main things from working from home. Oh, actually, no. Obviously, this is more for people who work for themselves. But if you're ill or you go on holiday, you're not working, you're not getting paid for those days. Now, obviously, I'm in a career where hopefully my books would still sell while I'm away. But if I'm ill and not working on the next book or editing or trying to promote books, then I'm not getting paid for that, am I? The same if I take a holiday, I'm not getting paid. Sucks, doesn't it? But of course, I know there are many, many benefits to working from home. And there are many benefits to being somebody who is the boss and the CEO of themselves. And I don't have a commute. I hate driving. There are definitely pros. I do appreciate all those pros. But sometimes the negatives just really get me down. He's being really cute, but you can't see him. Yeah, so I haven't done my Kanban board yet. And I'm a bit worried about this quarter because It's the summer holidays where I am. I'm in the UK, so it's the summer holidays. And it's just the routine is completely out, isn't it? Yeah, so I know August. We've already had July, and I know August is going to be tricky. And then we reach September. Now my book is at the point where I'm about to employ an editor. She can't start it just yet. Well, I'm not about to. We've already been speaking. But bye. I've worn black leggings. They're not black anymore. So yeah, so my work, she's taking my work not like this week, but next week. So I think in a week and a bit's time, she's got my book to edit. And then hopefully she's going to get it back to me sort of second, like the 20th, around the 20th of August. And then my plan is to hopefully have, like, I'll then go through that document and do those edits that she's done by the end of August, so that I can start formatting it. I want it, it would just be so good if by the end of August it was back from the editor, I'd gone through it and it was formatted, so that I can then start uploading to all the different vendors and sort of go through that process. Now, going through Amazon is fine. I've done that before. I have uploaded ebooks to Drafted Digital before, but I just need to sort of refresh myself. But I'm going to use Ingram Spark, or I'm pretty sure I'm going to use Ingram Spark, and I've never used them before. So that's going to be a whole new learning curve, and I have been told that it is it's not an easy, self-explanatory process. I might have to like screen record it to sort of see if I agree with what people have said, but I've got that to do. But I'm excited because there's no upload fees anymore to Ingram Spark. So I got that to sort out. And then I want to contact like some people on Instagram that I've been following, like book people, book influencers and stuff like that, because some of them I've been really enjoying their content, and I think that might be, I don't know, I'm just going to see if I can get anywhere with that, but that's going to take some time to do. So I might be doing that during August while I'm waiting for these edits to come back, because so September will be the uploading to vendors and getting proofs and stuff like that. And also like maybe contacting ARCs and people and like doing some tours and stuff like that. So I've got to start looking at that in August, but September's when hopefully that's all going to be going on, because I would love to publish this in October. I think originally I wanted it to be earlier, but that's just how it goes, especially when there's so many steps that rely on other people, and I'm not at that point yet where I can get a book out, not worry about any developmental stuff, not really worry about betas, and just get like a really simple proofread, because I still need like edits and stuff like that. So yeah, and this book has gone through so many different changes, and I'm starting to get a bit freaked out, I'll be honest with you. And I'm about to run out of battery, so I'm going to stop it, and then I'm going to talk to you about my worries. So I am having some major worries. So now I'm about to go into a little bit of a ranty mode, not rant, but a bit of a ramble about this new book coming out. I have been really quite nervous, and I've been pulling away from like social media and stuff like that. I think because in my mind, in like my warped sense of thinking, that if I can't be rejected, like my book, people can't be negative about my book, and it can't like flop if I'm not putting myself out there, if that makes sense. And I'm really, really nervous about it. I think it's good. The readers that I've had loved it, but obviously reading is so subjective, and I'm just so nervous, especially with there's been a lot of big books come out recently, like fantasy romance. I mean, look at Fourth Wing, that is major, and yeah, it's a completely different plot to my book, but it's still like one of the most recent big fantasy crazes. And, you know, before that, you've got all the, like I know Jennifer Armentrout, hers like the From Blood and Ash series and all of that. That's been big. I know Sarah J Maas and her new stuff, like all the Crescent City stuff, that's big. And there's just so many like big things that I just see out there at the moment, and it just makes me compare mine to them, and it's just so difficult because I'm getting closer and closer to like putting myself out there and it being out. It's getting more and more difficult for me to try and stay positive about it. Now, I said that I wanted to try and contact some like book accounts, bookstagrammers and stuff like that. And that's nerve-wracking because what if they turn around and say, A, no, but also worse, what if they read it and then go, oh my God, this is a pile of crap. And I'm getting so very nervous, and I don't know how to combat that yet. It is taking a lot of like emotional bandwidth. But I posted yesterday on my Instagram story. So if you're not on Instagram, go and check out the links below and come follow me. And I have fallen out of love with Instagram and just social media in general. So I've decided, and it was like a unanimous yes, do this, because I put up a little poll. I thought during August, should I try and do like a reel a day? Now, what I mean by that is I don't want to focus on creating perfect curated like content. I want to try and get back into just liking things and it being really casual. So yes, I absolutely understand like social media is a part of my role, as a part of my job as an author, and I obviously do need to be selling, and it is a job, but I don't want it to feel like such a burden, and like I just don't want it to feel like that. I don't want to feel salesy all the time. I don't want to, do you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that during August, if I try and think less about curated stuff and like making it perfect or worrying if it's perfect enough, to just be fun with it. So I do want to do lots of like fun little reels about my books, but as well as like reading and what I'm reading and like reader life and all sorts of the reader problems and just funny things, and also share like how my tastes and my writing has changed a lot over the past few years. And I think that will help me find like my tribe and people who are sort of into the same things as I am when it comes to their books and their fictional, I was about to say fictional men. Yeah, it would be so good to find more people to share that with, because I think the more people I do, yes, there's the risk of more people then not liking the book, which is going to scare me no end. Let's not beat around the bush with that. But I think if I can see people enjoying this book and liking this book for what it was for me, then I think that will give me more confidence, hopefully. Because I do think my confidence is waning a little bit. And I think like linking back to the first part of this video when I talked about that, I just feel like I'm not taken seriously. I need that sort of validation, and I would say that you don't need any validation, but I feel like at this point I do. I need this book to do well, because I need to show to people that this is my career and I can do it. And I feel like if it does well and I actually start earning some money from it, and then like get a following and people start loving this series. I've got so many ideas for book 2. I can't wait to start writing that. I'm sort of planning it at the moment. And I was having a little ramble to my friend yesterday actually about it. And she was like, are you just trying to put everything into this book? And I'm like, yep. I wanted dragons in there, and she said, I need to draw the line somewhere, Rhian, and that's where you need to draw the line. No dragons in this book. And I'm like, fine. I love dragons. Dragons are everywhere at the moment. I love dragons. I've actually just downloaded a couple of books into my Kindle that have dragons in. So yeah, I appreciate that this video has been a massive rambly video all around the houses about working from home, the negatives of that, me feeling quite stressed and nervous about my upcoming release, and how I want to try and like get back into social media and enjoying it. Because if I enjoy it and I see like an outcome, I see a positive outcome from putting that much time and energy into it, then that will help boost me even more. And I think at this point, I just need a boost. I need a boost in my confidence, and I need a boost in, I was about to say my ego. So yeah, it's difficult, but it's a process. And one I was trying to say final and tiny. One final tiny teeny little rambly rant. Amazon and KU. I love KU. I have KU as a reader, okay, and I read avidly through it. But I'm just hearing more and more about stories about people getting their accounts shut down, and it's just starting to really worry me. Now, I don't earn enough through KU to be scared about potentially taking my books out and going wide. So what I might do is have a look today at where my books are, like my YA trilogy, where that is in its KU enrollment, and I might unenroll them, because that might be a good way to practice uploading to all the other vendors that I need to upload to. So I might be doing that. I think I will be, just to sort of test it out, and that can be my like testing trilogy, as it were. But going wide is the long haul process, and it would be good to start. And if I want to go wide with my newest stuff, then I need to sort of go wide with all my stuff, if that makes sense. I don't think I have to, but I feel like I should, essentially. I have no idea how long this video is, so I'm going to stop there before I continue on and rant and ramble for even more, because it's me. But yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this really weird, rambly video. I would love to hear your comments down below. I would love to see what you're thinking about everything, and just have a little chit chat. Let's have a little chit chat in the comments. And I will see you next time. Okay, bye guys.